Welcome one, welcome all back to another week of the Heroes Power Hour. It's so good to see you. I'm your host, Twiz. Man, we have a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. First and foremost, let me explain a little bit how this show rolls, okay? We do two sections. First section is all about discussion, news, things happening within the Nexus, okay? Then we do a gameplay section, okay? And that's uploaded to YouTube. Both episodes are uploaded to YouTube. Only discussion portions are uploaded to iTunes. Anyways, way too technical for this early in the show. Let me make some introductions because I am not alone on this show. I have four of the greatest co-hosts that one could ever ask for. So first and foremost, let's go around the room a little bit here. We have with us back again for another week the co-founder of BlizzPro.com, Mr. J.R. Cook, a.k.a. Eldorian. Welcome back, my good man.
It's good to be here, Twiz. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We got so much to cover. So much good stuff happening. So much good stuff.
Hopefully we can get through it quickly.
That's what I'm screaming. That's what I'm screaming.
Some games. Yep.
Directly on the other side of the screen, you're going to know him from a little show called The West March Workshop, another BlizzPro TV production. It's Nineball Gamer. What up, brother man?
What's going on? I am so excited. I know the stream got delayed here a little bit tonight, but all that sweet Diablo info for Heroes. Can't wait.
Yeah. Yes.
Cannot wait.
Yes. And God knows how much you hate that game, so I'm sure you're not excited at all.
Oh, no. None whatsoever.
Oh, man. And just below him is BlizzPro contributor, a.k.a. the Three Viking Wrecking Crew, Mr. DJ Tyrant. Hello, sir.
Hello.
He told us to shut up earlier so he could hear the stream. It was really rude. You guys should have seen it. We put up with his sass.
He was a monster.
And last but not least, the the shot caller, if as it were, if you watch the second half of the show, kind of the brains behind the operation, the guy who keeps us all going. It is Mr. Balrog Fan BP. Welcome back, my good man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, buddy.
Yes, I did get a haircut.
I was gonna say I like your haircut, man.
Yeah, I did. It's very I don't know.
Okay.
Sure about it.
Yeah. This is that awkward part where we don't know what to say about your haircut other than the good haircut, man. So
yeah, looks like a haircut.
It looks like a haircut.
Definitely a haircut.
Looks like your hair but shorter. So
yes.
Anyways, all right, guys. Without
successful.
Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Now, this show, for those of you who are in the chat room, got delayed just a little bit because we were waiting for Blizzard to take the stage. They finally took the stage at E3 for all of their announcements and things happening within Heroes of the Storm about an hour and 10 minutes later than anticipated. So we all just kind of sat around wondering what was going on because all this information was supposed to drop just before the show started. But anyways, I don't. Day 9 was asking questions about, do you prefer Velcro over shoelaces to some of these guests and whatnot. So, anyways, that tied things up a little bit.
What's your favorite bug?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
You did really ask that.
What's your favorite bug?
Would you rather fight 50 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Yeah. Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? So, anyways, but they finally did, and a whole bunch of good stuff was regurgitated on the floor in front of everybody as far as Heroes of the Storm goes. So first and foremost, one of the things that I've got to do is bring up some of these show notes here. First and foremost, the Monk. Okay, they announced the Monk is coming out. What do we know? What did we see? What did you guys see on the stream? What are your thoughts? What's it looking like?
I mean, we didn't get to see a whole lot of the Monk. Like, basically, they just kind of showed him the cutscene and talked about what he is in early testing. But I'm excited for a class that sounds very versatile. From the way it sounded like you could build him melee, you could build him support. And
Okay,
very cool.
But he is a support class, right?
Yeah, I guess he's going to lean towards support tendencies, but he might be one of those supports like Uther, where Uther has all these talents that are like, yeah, you can buff his damage. Don't buff his damage. It's worthless. Like, hopefully this will be a class where you can actually buff the damage and it'll make a difference.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like Tyrande.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Very well possible. I mean, one of the biggest things for him is your level 1. It allows you to change your trait. You get to pick what your trait is. So if you want to build support, you can pick the support trait. If you want to be more damage, you go through and pick, like the more damage dealing traits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds very cool.
And even though they didn't show off any of the skills, the one thing that he used while on the stream was Seven-Sided Strike, one of like the big monk abilities in Diablo, which is, purely for going and dealing damage. So he probably is going to be a lot like Tyrande, where she'll have like one kind of pseudo support talent and another one that's for damage dealing.
Was that in the cutscene when he like flipped in front of the butcher and started punching him?
Yeah, the one where he's like teleporting from all the different angles and going and hitting the butcher.
Right.
Yeah.
It used to be a six-sided strike, but they upped it a little bit for heroes.
Yeah.
So.
Buffed it.
And what that tells me is they're just going to keep on the same theme as they had with Johanna, where if you've played Diablo, that Johanna feels like playing a Crusader in Diablo in Heroes of the Storm, which is really cool, and I'm really impressed with that, and it looks like they're going to keep that up with the monk from the little cinematic they showed.
Okay. Well, more on that as it progresses, and what we're going to do for those of you who might miss it is I'll pull the video, and we'll have some video clips for you guys next week to talk a little bit more about this and kind of break it down a little bit more. But we just kind of wanted to give you our initial impressions on the monk and some of the stuff that we saw no more than literally 10 minutes ago. The other thing that they did reveal is the Skeleton King. And we knew a little bit about the Skeleton King. If you watch back to last week's episode, the Heroes of the Storm Twitter account tweeted a picture that had the Skeleton King bigger than Dallas right there on the front. So it was kind of a giveaway, but it looks like more of it got confirmed. What kind of stuff did we see out of the Skeleton King during that stream? Anything?
Well, do you want to take this one, JR?
No, go ahead.
It sounded like his trait is when he dies, he he stays on the battlefield and can basically do things that are. It sounded like soft CC, things like slows and maybe roots and whatnot. But for the main part, every amount of damage that he would have done using his abilities reduces his death timer in some way. So that'll be really interesting to see. It sounds like they're going to have to walk a fine line balancing that, though, because that could be a big problem if he can cut like a 60-second 20, level 20 death timer into 20 seconds. That's going to make especially with the way his two heroics looked.
And the way that he dies, like when he dies, he just becomes like a wraith.
Yeah.
He can like travel around the map, and when he resurrects where that wraith is. So you're not resurrecting back in the base, you're resurrecting where you put him.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I envision lots of backdoor strats with this ability.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Abathur all over again.
Well, will he be able to go through, like, that'll be the interesting part. Can the Wraith just go through walls? Can it affect objectives like the Dragon Shrine in any way? Or other than just, like, will he count as standing there and channeling? Or can he only do that in his physical form?
I think you said that he couldn't, like, damage or anything, but he could, like, do things like slow the enemies and stuff like that.
I doubt that they would let him actually like claim objectives and things like that while he's dead. And we didn't get to see any of his abilities besides his ultimates.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that they said that he can't do damage but instead can go and slow people, it sounds like some of his skills are going to have slows or snares, something along those lines.
Yeah, because
maybe he just gets new skills as when he's a wraith.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Like he would get new skills, but the damage that these skills would, instead of dealing damage, would reduce his death timer. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. They're kind of vague about that aspect of it, other than the fact of saying that he would be around after he dies and he can reduce his death timer.
Yeah, that sounds just like, even if he didn't reduce his death timer, the fact that he's still on the board and making plays while he's dead, going and slowing enemies. It's like, oh, he died. We lost the team fight. Everyone run away, and he's just like team-wide slows, so that way your opponents can't catch up to you.
Right.
Or in the very beginning, in the laning phase, when it's only, a 10-second death timer, 5-second death timer, you're going to kill him, and then he comes back full health, and then just kills you right back. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to act like Murky early game, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be annoying.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
But But did we talk about his ultimates?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. That was my next thing. It's the March of the Black King, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's the first one. Anyone that's familiar with Diablo knows like one of his biggest abilities is where he kind of charges up, goes semi-ghost form, and starts swinging his mace around the battlefield. He has that ability. That's the March of the Black King, where apparently he becomes unstoppable while he's using it, and just goes and swings for a ton of damage and heals himself for every single person hit by one of the swings.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just a big, just waylay stuff, just like the original fight went in Diablo 3. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I imagine you'll probably have some control of his movement while he's going through and doing it, and that he doesn't just, like power forward with no control. Yeah, it seems like an interesting ability.
Yeah.
And then apparently they've given him the Wallerifics. His other ultimate is he basically creates a wall to corral somebody in.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I like that one as much.
Is that like a three-sided wall? Is that what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, basically it looks like you see Gazlowe running away, and all of a sudden, like, the kind of cathedral-style walls that are pretty prevalent throughout most of Diablo pop up, and there's just an open area in front of Leoric, and then they're trapped around, like, 3 sets of walls. It looks pretty cool.
I wonder what kind of a range that has on it.
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly, when they announced Johanna and her cone that would blind people, I figured that'd be like a small little range right in front of her, and that thing's huge. So it'll be interesting to see what they're thinking with that.
Cool. Well, more on that as time goes on and we get more released. And again, I'm gonna grab some video and stuff like that, and we're gonna play it on next week's show, so we can break it down, look at it a little bit better, and kind of give our thoughts on it. Again, this is just kind of on the fly because the show was delayed and everything like that.
I guess just one more thing. I guess we're 2 weeks out from when they drop the Butcher, and if Blizzard comes through with their promise, that means we're 5 or 6 weeks out from having Leoric drop into the game.
Mm-hmm. And then another probably 3 or 4 weeks after that for the Monk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have a lot of heroes already lined up for the next 2 months.
Yeah, and I wonder, since they said that the Eternal Conflict is going to be a couple months long, if we're going to have like one more Diablo hero that gets announced, kind of like towards the end.
Well, they said they're going to do another map as well.
There you go.
They didn't say that in this show, but they said it at the YouTube Spaces event 2 weeks ago that there would be another Diablo themed map.
Speaking of the map, we didn't mention that they mentioned Did we talk about the treasure goblin?
I was just going to bring that up. The Chatty Cathy's wouldn't let me bring it up. So, no, that was one of the things. One of the things that did get a little bit of a highlight during the stream was they're introducing treasure goblins, and it looks like they're running around the map, and you can smack them and maybe get gold for them, perhaps. Does that sound about right?
It seemed like it was going to happen before. In the 30 seconds when you're still gated in, apparently a treasure goblin's going to spawn somewhere within your base, and if you can chase him down and kill him, you get bonus gold. So, I mean, at first I thought they were joking, but then they ended it with a serious sort of tone. So I guess, I wonder if, at the end of the match, you'll have an extra 10 gold for chasing that little thing down, and if that's something that's going to be present in all Diablo maps, or just...
I don't know. I want to say this probably is just like a joke. The fact that you goes through, it drops, and you'll see something pop up that you get gold. Because when you destroy the core in the Diablo map, it just starts. Yeah, you get legendaries, gold, and health globes.
Okay. Well, the way they had presented it, though, it sounded like hunting him was actually something you could do for. I don't know.
I got that impression too from how they were discussing it. We'll find out next week.
I thought it would just be a cosmetic thing. I didn't think it was going to actually give you...
Sure.
Like, they said you're going to get gold, but I didn't think it would actually give you something in the game. I just thought it was purely cosmetic.
That's what
not in the game. I thought it was just gold, for your account.
Yeah, 10 gold for your account or something.
I think what's going to be the funniest thing is watching players who are like, I'm pushing this lane, I'm soaking this XP. Oh, shiny. I'm going to go run around and chase this thing and just completely give up everything that I'm doing.
No. They said it was in the 30 seconds before the gates lower.
Oh, okay.
At the start of the match. Yeah, that would be a dangerous
all right.
That would be so funny.
Sorry, guys, I'm 20 gold.
I'll just make a character just go around hunt treasure goblins.
Seriously. Although I think it's a good idea. I think that's kind of a funny thing. You have to choose.
Goblins.
You have to choose. Okay, well, that's good to know. And you know what? Now that you say that, yeah, I do remember you bringing up. You just said that, and I was double checking the show notes to make sure I hadn't missed anything else. But yeah, I think they should add that into the map. It would be totally funny to give you another decision to make. Do I go and hunt down this thing, or do I continue pushing my lane, or join the team fight, or get this camp, or whatever? So many people are going to go for the shiny. I would. I mean, I would. Hey, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
At least you're honest.
It's true.
It'd be funny if you, whoever kills the treasure goblin is the only one that gets the gold, so you fight with your teammates.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody AFK before the match starts because they missed out on 5 gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I could totally see that.
Oh.
They also pointed out in our wonderful chat room, which you can join when we stream live, that the demonic Tyrael skin looked very updated in the trailer, which I didn't catch, but I assume that's because of the way the picture looked that we talked about last week. That demonic Tyrael might see some visual upgrades in this coming patch too, which is good because that's good. It's so meh right now.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be more coming down the pipe, guys. So make sure you're tuning in every Tuesday night to twitch.tv/BlizzPro. And we're going to be just rattling off all the new information that we get, that we find out. And, of course, make sure you're checking out heroes.blizzpro.com. We're going to have articles up. There's the videos and stuff like that. I'm sure will be in our articles in the not-too-distant future as well. So make sure you're going and checking that out. So. Was there anything else that was covered? They were pretty much rushed, I think, because everything was pushed back so late, and they were the last to go on. And they were like, "Here you go, guys. I want you to dump everything you have in about 6 minutes. Go." And so everything was just super rushed and everything like that. So sadly enough, we don't have all that much information, but I don't know. It's not really anybody's fault. But was there anything else that got announced, talked about, covered? Anything you saw that was like, ooh, what's that about? I wonder.
No, that seemed like pretty much it. Monk hype was the big thing.
I want to watch that video again and see if there are any other hidden heroes that they kind of snuck in there.
There was a point where they panned out from the hero side, and it looked like there was a new skin or something on that side. So yeah, it'd be interesting to get some screen caps on that trailer.
Yeah, there's the prisoner Tychus that I saw.
Yes.
Yeah, the prisoners. Amazon Nova.
Yeah.
I saw
the skins. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they also showed off the angelic Diablo.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe there was something on the hero side on the left that just looked different to me, but I don't know. I was kind of rushed, like trying to take it all in. It flashed for like a half a second. I'm like, what's that?
Cool.
It's gone.
Cool. Well, you know what? What we're going to do, guys, is because we are also now time compressed because of that, and we want to give you guys as much good info as we possibly can. We do have a Gazlowe breakdown. Now, we have breakdowns on heroes.blizzpro.com if you want to learn all about this hero, the ones that are free to play, the ones that, you're looking at maybe buying or whatever, or you need a good build, or why is this the better talent pick over this or whatever. We've got all sorts of breakdowns, and they are put together by Balrog Fan and several other staff members as well. And they're really good quality guides. And this week we're doing Gazlowe, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get that fired up here. Let's get Gazlowe in the pipe, and stick around, guys, because the gameplay session we have the oh my god, Blizzard, this is broken team comp. So stick around for that. So let's talk a little bit about Gazlowe real quick before you give it the breakdown. We'll go through some of his skins. He's got basic. There's his master skin. I really like what they've done, but on the newest Gazlowe skin, it's a little lackluster for me, I guess. But
his turrets look like little UFO things, so that's
kind of neat.
Pretty much where all of your money is spent.
Well, let's talk about his abilities and his talents. We'll give him a quick breakdown. Gazlowe's one of those guys, I would never pick him, but I hate playing against him. So what do we have?
Basically, he is just a strong pushing hero that has a good presence on maps that involve trying to control tight or certain areas of the map. That means areas like Dragonshire, Cursed Hollow, and Sky Temple are where you really want Gazlowe. Gazlowe's a great hero for Hero League, especially if you can get some practice with him during quick match, so you feel strong enough to take him into Hero League. You basically want to be able to control area with your turrets and force players to make decisions that can often get them killed if they overextend or get too aggressive with him. The main thing is to try and get to an area before it's about to be time for it. Like Sky Temple, you can plan the first couple of temples out, and there's a 2-minute timer after the last shot is fired on the first temple, so you try to get there, 10 seconds, 15 seconds before and make sure you're all set up. He's all about setup, really. His abilities are the turrets, the lasers, which recently got an upgrade, so they take a lot less longer to charge, and there's a little more damage there, so that's big. And then the main thing is his Explodium charge is great for stunning, especially in combination with Gravel Bomb, which is just a very amazing ult.
Yep.
So,
cool. All right, let's break down the talent tree, man. What are we going with, and why are we going with it?
Level 1, I have been messing around with Scrap-O-Matic Smelter lately, and I love it. Basically, whenever you can hit D to junk any of your turrets, or anytime you blow up buildings or your turret's duration runs out, they drop these little bolts of scrap, and when you grab them, they normally refill 30 mana. A turret costs 60. You take this level 1 talent, they refill 60. So the turrets basically pay for themselves, and it really mitigates your early game mana problems that he has. And I feel like Extra TNT, which is the most popular choice, is still really good, but the problem is players are getting more and more comfortable dodging that bomb. And odds are you're not going to get a ton of people trapped in it. It's good for lane clear, but Gazlowe's already pretty good at clearing lanes, so I'd rather have the extra mana to sustain at level 1, and that kind of helps you out all game. Level 4 I like Promote just because it helps with your turrets, like pushing out your turrets, keeping them safe by promoting the frontline minions or promoting the backline minions when you have a good push already going. The archers do insane damage. They're actually kind of a pain to take down. And they refill the minions' health when you use it too, so it's pretty big for it helps out a lot if you end up with Gazlowe on Spider, Tomb of the Spider Queen, because you can kind of promote your little spiders in the back if they're trying to die for gems or something like that. Just little niche uses it has. It's great in Haunted Mines, which is another map where he's fairly okay in. But if you don't really like using Promote, Goblin Fusion is still very good. It makes the laser a lot stronger with that extra charge, now that the laser basically charges faster and does more damage anyways. Giving it the extra charge of damage is pretty beneficial. Level 7, I take Engine Gunk most of the time. I like having the slow. It's really big. It helps against melee heavy teams, especially if they're running dive comps with Illidan and Kerrigan. But if they have a lot more squishy heroes and range heroes, Rocket Turret XL to give your turrets the extra shots is probably a better choice. It can really help with taking down Merc camps too, the Rocket Turret XL. But the slow is pretty big. I mean, it can kind of work as something that saves your... You can almost drop a turret as a kind of like a little soft CC thing that can stop people.
Absolutely.
Catch my breath. Gravel Bomb 3000 all the time. It's so good. Basically, the combo is you drop your Explodium Charge E, and then you drop the Gravel Bomb. The Explodium Charge goes in the middle, and then the Gravel Bomb goes right where the Explodium Charge is.
You
and
stack
this will
them.
time it. Sorry?
You stack them, basically.
Yeah, you stack them right on top of each other, and what happens is the Gravel Bomb goes off first, pulls everyone to the center, and they're CC'd for a second, and then the bomb goes off and it stuns them even longer. Now, what you're hoping to do is coordinate this with things like Precision Strike on your team from Nova, maybe a Zagara Maw, any AoE Maw that requires better, where characters are positioned together, you get more out of it. Is a great way to combo this. Void Prison, Diablo's Armageddon. What was that?
An Asmodan Dunk.
Asmodan Dunk, yeah. Basically anything where you like them being together. Yeah. And the stun kind of lets you focus priority targets too. And then once that happens, hopefully you're winning team fights. So that's the name of the game, and then he can go back to doing his thing and pushing lanes and taking control of objectives. 13, turret storage. This build's about turrets. Having an extra store of them is helpful. If you're the focus of the enemy team. If they're like, oh man, this Gazlowe's pissing me off, which is often how I feel when I fight Gazlowe, I start targeting him, trying to get him killed. Then Gazlowe sprints away. He's wise too. Sprint's good there too, especially if you're being the focus of the team. But if you can get away with it, turret storage is better. Long range turrets. This is a big range increase. There's not much else on this team on this level. I mean, you can consider Stone Skin if you're being focused out by burst damage. But the long range turrets is just a huge increase to your turret's range, and especially when you give them the slow or you place them in a way where you can kind of make your opponents walk through like a wave of turrets before they can even get to safety. It makes a big difference. Level 20 miniature black hole, and that is just all about making the black hole bigger. The damage is nice, but the main thing is the giant radius increase. It's not uncommon to catch 3-4 heroes in one black hole right on top of your explodium charge with that big range increase, and that's pretty much the build.
Gazlowe in a nutshell.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, overall I think he's a fun hero to play, and he's a niche pick. He's kind of like someone that you just want to take on maps that he is strong at. There's no real reason to take Gazlowe on Garden of Terror. He doesn't provide a lot there. Same thing with Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's not one of his better maps.
Sure. Yeah, and you know what? I'm really surprised. I have not played very much Gazlowe at all. I was surprised at the real kind of like the lack of survivability he has. Sprint, I guess, would be like the only escape tool that he's got. And it's like, Gazlowe, I cannot kill you. I have tried chasing him down, I don't know how many times. He walks around with about 14 hit points, and you just can't kill him. And it's like, my God. And
then you die because he has all these cannons around him. And you're just like, well...
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. That's the main thing about Gazlowe is if you're not strong at positioning yourself in this game, stay away from Gazlowe. If you can kind of put yourself constantly in the right spot where they have to walk through a lot of crap to even start touching you, odds are you're going to have a big advantage.
Cool. So, well, very good, dude. Good form on that, and we do a breakdown every week, and so previous episodes have breakdowns, and you can check those out. Also, again, heroes.blizzpro.com if you want to read up and get a little bit more in-depth information. So, I think that's going to do it for the first half. Again, the second half, guys, we are getting into a team comp mode. We've got a crazy strong team comp this week, and I can't wait to see how it's going to do. What's up?
Do you mind if I answer a quick question in chat about Gazlowe?
Absolutely, please do it.
Buck Solo asked, would you avoid Gazlowe if the other team has Illidan? I think Gazlowe actually does well against Illidan if the Illidan is forced to deal with the turrets that have engine gunk on them. That slow that the turrets pop onto Illidan when they hit him is pretty big in like really slowing Illidan's game down, especially if you have someone like a Brightwing where he kind of dives in, gets polymorphed, and still tries to do something like a metamorphosis afterwards. Illidan's all about like movement speed and health regen and getting in and out, and if you can kind of slow those things down from him, he's really at a disadvantage. So I wouldn't like take Gazlowe as a counter pick to Illidan or anything, but if the other team has Illidan and you're going into Dragon Shrine and you're good with Gazlowe, take Gazlowe.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. We're all about answering chat questions. My chat's on another computer over there, so I don't get a chance to watch as much as I would like. So, anybody else got anything else?
Before we leave, I just wanted to mention that this week is the XP boost 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
enjoy
get
that.
in there and play. And
get some games in this week for sure.
Absolutely.
Get your level 10s while you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, very cool. One of the things I do want to bring up, guys, is we do have a Patreon account. There's behind the scenes costs for everything, for shows, for all the audio, subscriptions, server, all that stuff. If you guys like it, if you appreciate what we do, you want to help support the show, head over to patreon.com/heroespowerhour. And there's all sorts of perks and stuff like that where we hit certain goals and whatnot. So give that kind of a look over, and if it's something you want to be a part of, we certainly would love to have you be a part of that. So I almost forgot that, so I wanted to bring that up real quick.
Yes, we're
Very
very
cool.
close to our goal, playing with people after the show, so
Yeah.
we can get that up to $10, guys.
We are very close.
Yep. All the reason in the world, guys. So, very cool. All right, we are going to head out for that's gonna do it for this first section. The second half of the show is coming up right now, and we are going to dive into the Nexus and do as much damage as we possibly can. So, until next week, guys, take care. We'll catch you in the Nexus.